Good morning. My name's Alfreda Edwards, and I'm the Director of Development for the Fishing School. And I am standing in for my Executive Director, Leo Gibbs. This is my 13th day on the job. I am no stranger to development. However, I've been doing development for about 23 years. But as many of you know, the fishing school was initially started by Tom Lewis, a former D.C. police officer, who saw the need for an after-school program that would keep children off the streets and thereby lead them away from the violent activity and the drug culture life that was going on 17 years ago. And so he established these two after-school programs in the Northeast Ward 6 and 7, one on Wiley Street and one on Meade Street. And over the 17 years, the fishing school has weathered many storms in terms of keeping its doors open and its lights on. However, the United Black Fund has always been there, and I thank them for that. They kind of make my job a little easier. That's one grant I don't have to go chasing after. But I want to say thank you for inviting me. This is my first time attending, and I hope to see you all around. And I think that everything that everybody I've heard so far is just wonderful.
Hello, my name is Edward Fisher, and I'm representing Concerned Black Men. I just want to say that if it was not for the United Black Fund, we would not have been able to do the things we've done over the 30 years. I'm going to turn this over to the Vice President and let him speak.
My name is Bunyan Bryant, and as Eddie said, I'm the Vice President of Concerned Black Men. Yes, the organization has been around for 30 years, founded originally in Philadelphia. Our chapter here in Washington was founded 25 years ago, so we're celebrating this year 25 years of caring for our youth. That's our motto. Professionally, I am a lawyer, and during most of my career, I was a foreign service officer, a diplomat serving overseas. And when I retired 7 years ago, I decided I wanted to do something here, close to where I live, sort of carrying on the same principles of trying to help people. And I looked around for an organization, and the organization I discovered was Concerned Black Men. And many of you know it, and I think you have a good understanding of what we're about, and you can understand why I joined that organization. We're an all-volunteer organization. We have many programs. We can't do one-on-one mentoring as much as we would like just because we don't have enough people or resources to do that. So we do our mentoring through activities. We have programs that are open to students throughout the metropolitan area, such as an oratory contest each year. We have a History Bee. We have a scholarship awards program. Just this past June, we awarded about $15,000 in scholarships to students going off to college. In addition, we have a program that I work very closely with called the International Awareness Program. We try to introduce students to something beyond their experience here in the local area. So we take them to embassies. We're arranging a trip right now to the Nigerian embassy for next week. We took them a few weeks ago to the Holocaust Museum in Washington. Every year we take 2 or 3 bus loads of students to the United Nations in New York. And on that trip we also visit another site, maybe Jazz at Lincoln Center. We've done the African Burial Ground, a number of other things. I remember the first trip that I organized for Concerned Black Men, which was a trip to the Embassy of Botswana here in Washington. And I had just been with the organization a few months. And after we had toured the museum and looked at the artwork and had someone from the embassy talk to the students, we were sitting in this conference room, and on the walls around the conference room were pictures of former presidents of Botswana. And we asked the students, well, what's memorable about today's visit? Well, one young man who was 16 years old, so I believe he was maybe a junior in high school, said that the thing that he took note of was that there were black presidents in the world. And when I first heard that, I was kind of surprised because I thought, surely he must have known that before. But obviously he didn't. And so that convinced me of the importance of what we're doing. I mean, if nothing else, having the knowledge that that is a possibility, that that's a reality out there, convinced me, right off the bat that we need to be doing what we're doing. So I'm very happy to be part of Concerned Black Men. I'm very proud of the people we work with. As I said, we're all volunteer. So we can do a lot, but it takes money, of course, and we can do even more with money. And that's why we're very grateful to United Black Fund for the contribution. It's the biggest single contribution, I think, to our activity. So thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Russell Carter, and I represent the DC Music Center. First of all, I'd like to thank the United Black Fund for having me as a member. I've been a member for about 20 years, and I really want to thank you for supporting us. The DC Music Center is located at 16th and Harvard Street, Northwest Washington, and what we do, we provide music lessons for kids of all ages, starting age maybe 3 years old. But not only kids, we also have senior citizens as old as 80 years old. Some of the things that we do, we've had one of the first youth jazz bands in this city, and I'm talking about kids as young as 8 years old, and who actually played the music of Miles Davis, John Coltrane, Duke Ellington, and we also perform around the city. We do a lot of things. Matter of fact, our jazz ensemble performed for the Concerned Black Men a couple of years ago, and they really enjoyed that. We've also sent students on to Duke Ellington and Howard University, and we also have students who are on the road with artists such as Wallace Roney, and they just finished touring places like China, Brazil, and so again, I want to thank the UBF for having us as a member, because funds are really hard, especially for arts organizations. And thank you again for having us.
Good morning. My name is Nikki Pearson. I'm the founder and the director of an organization, a nonprofit organization that we titled Restoring You. That's the letter U, Clergy Community Collaborative. I've been working with ex-offenders and substance abusers since 1996, starting as a chaplain at the Salvation Army and moving there to the Washington, D.C.'s organization, Holy Comforter St. Cyprian Community Action Group, formerly known as CAG. I left there and went to work for East of the River with Reverend Donald Isaac. Some of you are familiar with him. Started the job readiness program there for him for ex-offenders. That grant ended in August of last year. But because I know the need, being a recovering or deliberate addict and alcoholic myself, because I know the need for services to people who've had history such as that, I decided to continue the work on my own, and thus Restoring You. What Restoring You does is provides workshops, classes, and seminars to nonviolent convicted felony offenders between the ages of 23 to 45 years. We provide workshops, conferences, and seminars that address the economic, the social, and spiritual development of men and women coming out of prison within the Washington, D.C. area. And we have been working with young men and women from Prince George's County. We believe in the principle that unless there is a transformation of the mind, there will be no change in a man or a woman. We operate on Romans 12 and 2, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. We want to thank Mr. Lenore, and certainly Dr. Cornelius, for being so gracious to me. I came in at a suggestion of my sister, who's very familiar with them. She's a principal of a school here in D.C., and just on meeting them the first day, they were so inviting and embracing. And I'm a very spontaneous person. I just show up at the drop of the hat. I'm a visionary. So if any of you are visionaries, you know the moment you get the vision, you want to jump on it. And so, but they've always been gracious to see me whenever I drop by and just to encourage me. So thank you so very, very much. God bless you all.